Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear student, today we'll start our next chapter, or you can say topic, which is actually called as franchising. Franchising is actually a form of business, or in which different large businesses want to expand their business operation, and it is actually a type of business, a type of authority or type of a relationship, or you can say it is a type of a continuous relationship in which a franchisor provide licensed privilege to franchisee. Like franchisor is actually a large organization which has a very strong brand name, and they are working very profitably in, and they have actually generated their name, customer satisfaction, and they want to expand their operation. So in this case, in this case they will give a license to a franchisee to do business, and and offer assistance in organizing, training, merchandising, marketing, and managing in return for a monetary consideration. That means they'll provide the franchisor will provide them assistance in organizing different activity, or if, for example, if they want to provide training to their staff, and merchandising, like means selling for selling of certain goods or products, or their in their marketing, or different kind of managing of different kind of activities. So they will actually, the franchisor also charge a certain amount of fee in return for that. So it is actually a form of business in which the owner, that is the franchisor, of a product or service, or method obtain distribution through affiliated dealers. That means when a large business organization give right to or license to any local businessman to use their brand name, but they have to follow certain rules and regulation of a franchisor regarding their marketing activities, right, and regarding their operations, regarding the quality of the product, because they are using their brand name. So obviously they have to follow all those things, and they can and these affiliated dealers are there, and these dealers are the people who get the license in order to use the brand name of a product. So that is actually the activity of franchising. As we have discussed, what is franchising? In a simple words, when we talk about franchising, it is an agreement between two parties. And what are these two parties? One party is a franchisor, which is a large organization which have a very well-known brand name, and they have very well organized marketing, managing, and organizing, and many different other activities. And the other party is a franchisee. Franchisee is an authorized dealer who get the right of usage, or who get the license of using the brand name of that franchisor, or the company who is they're giving them license. And they give them rights regarding that they can use the trademark or trade name of the company, and they can use the system, methods, and researches which has adopted by the, or which has been used by the franchisor, and the right to use packing materials. So all these things, the when you are getting the license, you will be getting right to use all these things. If you look around, you will see that UFN have given their franchises to different local dealers. You are seeing that McDonald's is giving a franchise to the local dealers, local businessmen, and many international brand name have given franchises to the local businessmen. So, in this way, they are in a position to expand their operation, and without using their own resources. And if we look that, if we take the example of McDonald's, if you will go there, they are using the same kind of operating and marketing activities which are being adopted by the McDonald's, or which are being directed by the McDonald's, that is called as franchisor. In franchising, you if you don't want to start your business from a very scratch, it will give you an opportunity to use a strong brand name, and in return you will be getting a market share, because people are attracted by that strong brand name. So franchising is obviously a good option when you want to start your business with a strong brand name. Now, parties to a franchise agreement, as we discussed in the very first slide, that the procedure of franchising is that one party give authority or give license to the other party to use their brand name, their trademark, and different marketing and different other activities. So obviously there are two parties. One is franchisor, and the other one is franchisee. And franchisor is the one who sells the right to franchisee. Like when we make a franchise agreement, so franchisor is the party who give right or who sells right to a franchisee, and in return the franchisee have to pay certain amount of fee or certain amount of or certain percentage of their sales to franchisor. When we talk about this arrangement like franchising, so there are many advantages of franchising. First of all, franchisor gets a huge amount of money from franchise without doing anything. When the franchisor give right to franchisee, the main intention or the main objective of franchisor is to spread their name and to increase their operations. But if franchisor do all these things, a huge amount of money is needed. So rather than investing, they'll get return a huge amount of money in a form of royalties from the sales. Franchisor can get a high amount of finances from franchises, or high amount of money from franchises without doing anything. They are, they have to make agreement with the franchisee, and obviously they have to monitor the activities of the franchisee, that they should not spoil their name. So this would be a great advantage to a franchisor for spreading their name or increasing their operations. Then franchisee get access to big business. Obviously, when you want to start a business, and you will get the name of a very strong company, so it will help the company to stabilize or start their profit at a very early stage, because you don't have to do heavy advertisement or promotion in order to introduce yourself, because already your a strong brand name is attached to you. So starting a business with franchising is something would be helpful, but there are certain limitations which we will discuss in the next slides. Then failure rate of franchise business is lower than any other business. This is actually a research based data, and it is being observed that whenever you start your business in a form of franchise, there would be a lower failure rate, because you don't have to incur a large amount of expenses on R&D or promotional activities, or developing your own marketing plan, because you already have to adopt all the operational and marketing plan or marketing practices of your franchisor. Due to monitoring and of your franchisor, you will be able to retain the quality of the product, quality of services you are offering. So franchisee uses worldwide tested product brands and tested procedure. That is why failure rate is lower in this type of business. As we have discussed, that when you are using a strong brand name and different tested procedures, like if we look into the market, the operations of McDonald's and McDonald operations of KFC. So all these operations or all these practices are already being tested world over, and when they are adopted in a form of franchise in a new in a new area, so obviously that would be accepted, and that would be successful in that area. That's why the failure rates of franchise is very low as compared to any other form of businesses. Other advantages of franchising is that franchisor provide guidance to the franchisee in all affairs of the business. As a franchisee has to adopt certain marketing practices and operational activities, practices regarding the quality of the product, and many other things. As when you are doing a franchisee business, it might be a manufacturing business, it might be a service providing business, it might be an outlet, or it might be a fast food chain. So the franchisee will get guidance on all aspect when they are running business under the name of the franchisor, because the franchisor is most concerned about their name, and they have maintained the quality, and they have maintained their brand name, the prestige of their brand name. Therefore they are more conscious about that, so they'll provide continuous guidance. Apart from that, they'll be monitoring all the activity of the franchisee. So obviously there is a great support from the franchisor in order to run the affair of the business. They can also help the franchisee to select the location of their business, the location where they can get maximum or they can attract maximum customers, and also they will provide support in other kind of matters regarding the hiring of their employees, regarding the cleanliness, regarding the environment, regarding the manufacturing procedures, and many other things. All in all, we can say that because the franchisee will get guidance in all aspect of the business, so it would be in the and advantages from the for the franchisee, and they can gain, and they can generate more profits from the business. Then, apart from that, when we talk about disadvantages of franchising, so number one disadvantage of franchise is that the franchisee has to incur high cost. And what is high cost? Because not only that, they have to maintain the quality of the product, they have to maintain all the adopt all the practices, marketing and operational practices of the franchisor. So obviously it will incur a large amount of cost, and apart from that, they have to pay a part of their sales to the franchisee as well. We can say that running a franchise business is costly as compared to any other form of business. Then proportionate profit is given to franchisor by the franchisee. Obviously they have to, because franchise, you are using the brand name of the franchisor, so you have to pay a certain portion of your profit to a franchisor. Then there are too much restriction from franchisor on the franchisee. As we have discussed in the advantages, that there would be a continuous monitoring of the franchisor on the activities of the franchisee, because they are more conscious about their brand name, their quality, and everything. We can say that there are too much restriction on the franchisor, because there is no there is no flexibility upon many things, and they have to adopt all the practices which are being used by franchisor, or which are being directed by the franchisor. So there are a lot of restrictions, and you have to avoid that restriction in order to satisfy your franchisor. Now, there are many new trends in the business with the passage of time, with the increase in globalization. Globalization means that there is increased interaction between different countries, and if you look into your market, you can see many products, many things which are being imported from abroad. And not only that, there are many trends of doing business like e-business or e-commerce, in which internet are used for marketing product. Not only they are being used for product, like if you look into your Facebook, you will be seeing that there are live session of different businesses, and they are introducing their products and marketing their products, promoting their products, showing their products, and so they are selling via online, and they'll delivering your product at your doorstep. So there are many new trends involved in the business scenario. Secondly, there are more women in the business. Mm, Previously, the men were being the business field is dominated by men, but now many women are entering in business. They are actually pursuing their entrepreneurial activity, and they are starting their new businesses. And internet has increased the number of business entrepreneur, and business will be better displayed, and there are well mannered staff. There are more knowledgeable people who there are more knowledgeable businesses which can identify the needs of the customer, and the business which are being organized by women are more market oriented. Like market oriented means that the products are though they are actually offering the products which are more desired by the market, and obviously like kitchen products. So mostly women are working in the kitchen, and they know what type of accessory they want, and they have difficulty in doing certain things. So obviously they know that what kind of product will be helpful in making the lives of the people easier, because nowadays not only women are doing home chores like housework, but men are also contributing in different house chores. So when business are in the women are in the business field, so in that case they will be offering product which would be more helpful in facilitating the life of the people. Now, other new trends are the business are global opportunities. Like I have discussed this in the previous slide, that increase in the globalization has increased the opportunity or global opportunities for the people. Like if you see, you will find many apparel store of Pakistan in Dubai, in London, in America. Not only that, we can see many other products like Pepsi is the brand of a brand which is a global brand. We can see Pizza Hut and McDonald's. So these are all brands which are now globally offered. So when the global market is has opened, and the people and we are open with the actually these global market are open due to decrease in trade barriers, and due to increase in the trade liberalization, and policies which are more friendly towards other countries. So that in that case it has opened opportunities for the people to be more to introduce more products into global market, more products into other countries. And in this case internet has played a major role, because now you can make payments via internet on online system, and introduction of Bitcoin, which is a cryptocurrency now. In KPK it is legalized. You can make payment via internet, via PayPal, via different other modes. So it has increased the global opportunities. But the main problem is that Pakistan people had got a huge success in the global market, but due to non-consistency of their quality, they are not able to achieve brand name in the global market as they have achieved brand name in the textile industry. But in many cases, like in seafood, which is being introduced into the global market by the Pakistan, it was banned, and due to its lower quality. So it's very important when you are offering your market in the world market, so you should be consistent in the quality. The main problem of Pakistani brand is the non-consistency of their quality. If that is be maintained, so they will be they can achieve a very good name in the global market. Now, there are certain factors which can help in to decrease the failure rate. Number one is government preferences and priorities. Government can play a very vital role in increasing and actually they can become a monitoring factor. They can monitor monitor many activities or products which are being offered globally. They could monitor those products, or they can provide investment. They can provide training regarding that. Like if government make policies, and government give preference and priorities to export sector, or the sector which is export oriented, and they can provide them facilities, they can provide them training, and they can provide them a different kind of support. So it will be helpful for them to maintain their quality globally, and for a longer time period, and which will decrease their failure rate. And government is convinced to support corporate sector. The corporate sector is actually a sector which is involved in business activities. So if government provide a supportive environment in a case of investment, in a case of legal framework, in case of many tax laws, so it would be helpful, or in the case of providing energy and everything, so it would be very helpful for the business to and it for the business, and it can also decrease the failure rate. Then business are now being set up on more professional ground. Like obviously, when you are having business institute, and and many other sectors, like there we have financial services, we have different legal services, and the way we have like if you want to enter in the business and you want to start a corporate setup, so you have SECP, which actually provide you guidelines. So now many businesses are now set up on a more professional ground. Then support from financial institution. If you have a very organized money market or capital market. The money market actually is a market where the businesses can get short-term loans, like for maximum up to 1 year loans, and which will help them for entertaining or fulfilling their short-term needs. Another is your capital market, where you can get funds for a longer time period, where can you have equity, sources of equity finance, you have sources of debt finance. So if you have very organized financial institution and financial environment, so this it would be helpful for the business to arrange finance and lower the failure rate. Then general economy of the country. It's very important when your economy is working, economy is strong, so it will automatically provide support to the business sector. If you look into the developed countries, they have strong economies, so obviously their business sector is supported by their strong economic environment. Then people are acquiring professional knowledge about business. We have different business institute, and not only that, we have Chamber of Commerce, which is providing providing training to businesses, and they are guiding many businesses, and professional institutes are there. So people are acquiring now professional knowledge, and if this professional knowledge is there, we have specialization in marketing, we have specialization in HR, we have specialization in project management and many other fields. So if you have a more knowledgeable businessman, it will decrease the rate of failure into the organization, because they have a capability of in anticipating future risk, and they'll take certain steps which can minimize their failure rate.